Hey guys, Flippin' Landlord Ninja here,
Kevin the Property Prince.
and we are Two Guys Take on Real Estate. So we want to talk today about buying in any real estate market cycle.
Make it happen. This is something that we hear about all the time. Now is not a good time to buy real estate.
Oh, that's what we hear often, but
Can't buy real estate in this market. That's
nope,
crazy.
Everything's overpriced.
Absolutely right. So, we're here to tell you, those people might be full of crap.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know what they're talking about.
Well,
just us.
We're the only ones. We show up on camera wearing hoodies. Believe us, we know what we're doing.
So if this is interesting to you, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.
Absolutely. We're looking to hear more from you about if you're buying in any market cycle.
What are market cycles, right?
That's a great question.
Have an understanding of that first.
That's a great point. What people seem to think is that real estate is just always going to go up and up and up and up and up. And we found that time and time again, that just isn't the case.
No.
But we quickly forget what happens after real estate goes up for a long time.
I think in any cycle, people forget about the past and what happened because, this time's different.
Real estate's safe. Park your money there. It's only going to appreciate in value.
Two guys take on real estate.
So typically, if you look at history, the real estate markets generally last between 8 and 12 years. And what does that mean? There's 4 different phases, so to speak, of a real estate market cycle, or any cycle for that matter.
Sure. It's kind of almost like riding a roller coaster at your favorite theme park.
There you go.
Might be a good way to look at it. And, the phase where you're buckling in, you're getting excited, you're getting on the ride, and it starts to take off.
Well, that's kind of generally the recovery phase. It starts kind of going up, and you generally can get some really good, cheap deals. But you don't see a lot of construction happening. You definitely do some rentals really, really well.
Yeah, at that point, right there, where are you getting your cheap deals?
Well, you're often seeing a lot of short sales. The banks are actually kind of releasing some of the stuff that they've kind of pent up. They're kind of, a lot of people haven't paid their mortgage, stuff like that.
So what about maybe foreclosure auctions, things like that?
Foreclosure auctions, yep, that's a good one. Foreclosure auctions, short sales, REO, realtors, stuff like that. Yep.
Liquidating assets.
Liquidating assets.
So trying to get basically properties that already exist back into new hands.
Correct.
Oh, awesome. All right, so that's the recovery phase.
Yep. Then you kind of move into the expansion phase, which is really kind of where the market's starting. You're seeing more supply coming on. Maybe you're seeing new construction happening. Stuff like that is really where you're coming.
So after kind of like the low-hanging fruit started getting taken up and taken over, now new construction's happening, so there's more properties being developed.
Yep, more properties being sold. You see more people entering that are flipping houses, stuff like that. That's
awesome.
Really what happens because you can make a quick profit. People are buying. Generally, you see interest rates are hopefully lowering, so therefore people have a ability to buy more.
House flippers have entered the chat.
Yes.
This is where they get going. Absolutely. Okay.
You're also seeing a lot of wholesalers actually too. People are being able to wholesale a lot of stuff to flippers.
It's fantastic. So you get another ecosystem right within the housing market of people acquiring properties, selling properties, renovating properties, and doing a lot of work. So that all is just building steam. You're just really, really going up a ramp right now.
Yep, and it's going up and up and up. At some point, though, nobody knows when.
Right.
There is a top, and so generally it's kind of controlled by supply and demand. So at some point there's a tipping of the scales, and all of a sudden you go into like a hyper supply where there's more supply than there is on the market, the demand on the market, and so therefore prices start reflecting that, and they're start going down.
Okay, but in our roller coaster analogy that I'm working out here, that's usually you're sitting on the roller coaster, you see things are going up and up and up, but you must be able to see there's a sign saying keep your hands inside. Something's about to happen, right?
Well, yeah. So each market's a little different. So, for instance, in real estate, it's actually an inefficient market. So, therefore, what does that mean? That means basically things don't work quickly. Like stock market, when that starts going down, it can happen like within instant. Within hours.
Right.
It's
if you're not
crazy.
watching that ticker, you're in a big problem. You have a big problem. Right. Sure.
But real estate, because it's not a liquid asset like stocks, it takes quite a bit longer for things to offload, people to be able to reduce their prices. It's also very emotional. And so it does take some time. And generally you can see the warning signs ahead of this so you can pivot and make changes. And like Kevin was saying, we're on the roller coaster. The down part of the roller coaster is sometimes the most fun part, right?
I don't know. I like it a lot, but when there's money involved, I'm not sure if I want to go be associated with the down part of a roller coaster.
Why not? I mean, that's when you're going to be able to buy prices below median and you can start stocking up.
That is a creative and really, really positive way to look at things. So people look at crashes or, the drop on this roller coaster as a tragedy, as something that's going to be a terrible, ordeal for them to have to go through. But a smart person is going to make changes and adjust their business to take advantage of that, right?
Yep, this is true. You might see often, like we've seen right now in like the foreclosure market, where things aren't being able to.
Yeah.
You're not able to actually foreclose on stuff like that and take it over and get clear title. You need to pivot, like Kevin was saying, into something where maybe you actually buy and hold. And that's, this hyper supply might be the opportune time to actually do that. Similar to, 2007, 2008, where it kind of was really tanking. It was a great time to kind of scoop up as many properties as you can, fix them up, rent them out to tenants.
Right. So instead of, having an operation and a business that revolves around transactions where you buy a property, maybe put some money into it and then resell it for more money, if the market's shifting and changing, you need to adjust your model where maybe you do acquire the property, you fix it up, but now your intention isn't to sell it right away. You are going to hold on to it for a while, especially right now with, again, the foreclosures not being able to have clear title. So, you can't really sell it. Hold on to that thing, adjust your business, and maybe hold through the dip and wait for the next rise on that roller coaster.
Exactly, and now you have seen the appreciation of those houses. You've also paid off a lot on your principal of your loans, and yet maybe, once again, you can keep some that are maybe in great markets, but then, kind of trim the trough, so to speak, get rid of some of those ones that cause a lot of the problems.
So I think some of our viewers out there are going to wonder, how are you going to tie up all that money you spent on houses and tie it up for so long, 3 years, several years, to hold it through a dip? How can you possibly pay mortgages? You're going to have mortgages, or you have all your money tied up? How can you pay for that and hold on to these properties for so long?
Well, that's where the rental comes in the market. So therefore, you're actually bringing in more than your expenses are, ideally.
So there you go.
Cash flow positive.
You're shifting your business model from being somebody transactional to somebody that's, a property owner, manager, landlord. And maybe you're going to shift your practice a little bit, and hopefully you're nimble enough and you have an organization that's able to shift, and you can take advantage of that downslope by buying properties that you're now going to rent. And instead of having income on a transactional basis, you're going to have income on a cash flow basis.
Cash flow basis, yeah. Now, that doesn't mean you can't still flip homes. So if you buy right still, there's still people going to be buying in there. And different markets, once again, Springfield, Massachusetts is going to be different than Houston, Texas.
Sure.
So you might still see markets where if you love flipping, you still can do that. You just need to do your market research and know where to actually go that will actually see that your return.
And again, that's another situation where you're pivoting your business, you're adjusting your business to. You usually do business in California. Well, now you're going to do it in Texas. You normally would do it in one market. You start shifting and changing and adapting your business to grow in a slightly different market in a different area.
Yeah, and you're going to want to look for different market changes. Where's population growth? Where is the price to rent ratio make the most sense? I mean, all these things are going to be important factors that you're going to want to consider when you're adapting and picking out the market that you want to work with.
So sounds like a market cycle is going to give you opportunity no matter where you are in the cycle, as long as you're willing to change your practices, adapt to it, and pay attention to the signs as they're coming at you.
This is true. So once again, I hope this was helpful. And if you have any other ideas, if you want to watch this video right here. No, here.
Over there.
I think it's going to be right here.
Well, it's going to be somewhere.
Somewhere right here.
There's more videos coming, believe me.
Yeah, all about foreclosures. So check it out.